Do you want to know some random fun facts? Forget I asked because I'm going to tell you anyway. Japan has one vending machine for every 40 people. And on the island of Aoshima, there's one person for every 20 cats. It's impossible to hum while plugging your nose. Don't worry, I tried it too. Babies are born with 275 to 300 bones in their bodies. By the time they're adults, they only have 206 bones because some of them fuse together as they grow. God was an engineer. And Port Coquitlam doesn't have a port. Wait, what? It's like naming your kid Doctor and hoping he grows into it. So why did they name this friendly city Port Coquitlam? Back in the day, March 7th, 1913 to be exact, Port Coquitlam was incorporated and was a key Canadian Pacific Railway hub. The port part of the name is because it was intended to be a major port, but became a bustling railway junction instead. Was that all interesting stuff? Well, today, I'm going to give you some fun facts about why Port Coquitlam is a great place to live. Are you ready? Let's go. Hi, my name is Simon Liu and I am your friend in real estate here in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. I have helped people make smart real estate moves across Greater Vancouver for nearly 2 decades. If you're thinking of making a move, my team and I would love to help. I invite you to send me a message with the information below. Let us help you find your happy home. Welcome to the final installment of our 3-part Tri-Cities series. If you ever looked up listings in the MLS for something outside of Vancouver to live, and you consider the Tri-Cities, you were sure to have come across some amazing deals in Port Coquitlam. The first time I came across it myself, many years ago, I thought to myself, what's the catch? Because around Vancouver, if it looks affordable, you assume there must be a number 4 in the address. Because on paper, it checks a lot of boxes. More space, quieter neighborhoods, and prices that give you the confidence to step into a bank to ask for a mortgage without first spending 3 days come up with a reason why you don't have $1 million like everyone else, and accidentally discovering some hidden trauma from childhood, which might still be cheaper to treat than Vancouver real estate. So no time machine needed either, but you can still pick up that hot tub. This part of town certainly has its quirks, but if you can make life work here, you're going to be living your best life. Isn't that what we're all striving for? Today, I'm going to show you what living in Port Coquitlam is all about. If you're thinking about moving outside of Vancouver, this might be the most economical area you haven't considered yet. While Coquitlam and Port Moody fight over who was here first, Port Coquitlam calmly and confidently acknowledges being the little brother, who admires his older siblings. He pays homage to the active lifestyle that is so noticeable in Coquitlam, with the Triboulet Poco Trail and Poco Climb, not to mention the obsession with parks, and the vibes of Port Moody with the historic downtown district where many festivities take place, and a few microbreweries are scattered throughout the city as well. Plus, he might have quietly topped both of them with the one thing that they both rely on Poco for, the Costco. Because nothing earns respect faster than 48 rolls of toilet paper for $21.99, or a hot dog and a fountain drink for $1.50. So where is Port Coquitlam located? Port Coquitlam sits just east of the Coquitlam River, up to the Pitt River, and a little north of the Fraser River to the south, and butts up against Burke Mountain and the Minakata Regional Park to the north. So you're kind of tucked away, not isolated, but not exactly in the middle of anything either, although still close to everything. It makes sense and it doesn't. It's like that one guy who never wants to show up to a party that everyone is at, but when he gets there, he's the last one to leave. Most days, you're about 45 minutes from downtown Vancouver, or about 3 days if there's traffic on the Maryhill bypass. Pro tip, pack some snacks and some water, and don't sweat it. Life is a journey. This is a densely populated area that is scattered with amazing neighborhoods, like the historic Central Port Coquitlam area where downtown Poco is, the family-friendly master-planned community of Fremont Village, the prestigious Citadel Heights neighborhood. Some of the things that people who live here tend to rave about are the vibrant downtown area, the Rio community feel, as many people who live here tend to stay here, lots of options for hiking trails, perfect place to raise a family. Does this sound like a place you might be interested in calling home? Or maybe you're still not really sure. Stay tuned as we try to change your mind. Here's a fun fact for you. Port Coquitlam has 101 kilometers of cycling routes, but no SkyTrain. Wait, no SkyTrain you say? Yeah, that's the trade-off. How primitive, right? How do people even get by without a SkyTrain? Well, back in the 1980s, it was still the norm. So maybe just coming down to Poco for a nostalgic experience of the 80s. Now, if you drive, you're fine. You have easy access to Highway 1, Lougheed Highway, and you'll even get to use the Golden Ears Bridge once in a while. But if you don't drive, then you may want to memorize that bus schedule, or maybe get into freight hopping. At the moment, there are no SkyTrain options here, so most of the buses connect you to Coquitlam Center or the West Coast Express at Port Coquitlam Station. And from these 2 transit hubs, you are free to roam the lower mainland again, The shackles of bike trails and train tracks are released, and now you get to travel to downtown Vancouver in about 35 minutes by the West Coast Express, or about 45 minutes by SkyTrain. So, commuting around the city is pretty manageable. At this point, you're probably still wondering, so where's the catch? There's a catch, right? And honestly, that's a fair question, and I'm sure you'll figure it out if you watch to the end. Poco isn't flashy, and honestly, I don't think they're trying to be, but they seem to cover the essentials very well. The most prominent trait of Port Coquitlam when it comes to amenities in the cities is the outdoors. With over 266 hectares of parkland and 46 kilometers of hiking trails, you are sure to get your steps in if you choose to. You have Lions Park, which is where everyone with a toddler goes for a meetup. If you don't have a toddler, don't worry, just show up and one will find you. And if you end up living in Citadel Heights, you'll find a park every 3 blocks, and I'm not even exaggerating. What residents love about this outdoor space is that it's mostly flat and accessible year-round. Poco is also connected to the Fraser River to the south, Pitt River to the east, and has the Coquitlam River running through the city. You can float down the Coquitlam River on a hot summer day, fish off the riverbanks along the Fraser and Pitt Rivers during seasonal salmon runs, or just hang out by the water on your days off with ease. This is usually the moment where people realize, oh, that's why people who live here don't leave. Recreation is practical here. You've got the recently rebuilt Port Coquitlam Recreation Center that houses 3 ice rinks, a swimming pool, gym, fitness center, and a library. Sports fields and playgrounds scatter around the city. Numerous programs catering to all ages. And get this, access to the outdoor pools are free. No, not the spray parks for kids. I'm talking about lap pools like Robert Hope and Centennial, where you can actually go to get some exercise in, which in this economy feels like winning the lottery. It's easy to have an active lifestyle in Port Coquitlam when the city is so dedicated to creating the environment. You've got multi-use trails for biking, hiking, or running. The Poco Climb, which is integrated into the Triboulet Trail and offers a manageable 200 steps up a 75-meter elevation gain. You can complete this in 20 minutes. Thoughtful bike-friendly touches like repair stations in some parks. These intentional designs encourage movement without forcing you to put down the fork. A drive down Shaughnessy Street in downtown Poco, you'll find a thriving community of small business owners. And if you need enough supplies for a small basketball team of minions, you can hit up Fremont Village, where you'll find all the big box stores, including the Costco. Being the little brother of the family, I'm sure this little gem is what prevents the older brothers from picking on him. Then you have the community events such as May Days. This long-running tradition is a free, family-friendly event that goes on for several days. In May, which is highlighted by the opening ceremonies, kids' bike race, and the parade. Canada Day celebrations, possibly the biggest event of the year. Car Free Day, which is presented by TransLink, is an amazing annual street festival featuring live entertainment, family-friendly events, and local food and beverages. The Christmas in the Square event, which is highlighted by live entertainment and winter market. The Parade of Lights, which showcases city vehicles, local businesses, and walking groups, all decorated with festive lights. This isn't a wild city, but they are vibrant and definitely punching above their weight class. At this point, this is where people stop nodding their heads and start pulling up their abacus to crunch some numbers. I know, not having easy access to SkyTrain seems like a bummer, but Poco makes it worth your while with their affordable prices for housing costs. Is it much lower than other areas in the Lower Mainland? Let's just say you may have enough left over to buy yourself a decent car and not need to worry about the SkyTrain. As the most affordable city of the Tricities, you have the opportunity to live a little. Get yourself that roadster you have your eyes on. Anyhow, you're getting great value in Port Coquitlam. As usual, let's start with the rentals. As of the date of this recording, a Vancouver 2-bedroom condo rents for approximately $3,250. Over in Port Coquitlam, you'll find the same 2-bedroom condo for closer to $2,400. That is a difference of $850 every single month. That's gas, groceries, and emotional stability. If you set it aside, in 1 year, you're looking at over $10,000 saved. Say hello to that souped-up 1991 Honda Civic hatchback you've always wanted. It'll make more sense when you start living here. On the resale side of things, you're going to be blown away. You're going to comb through the fine print looking for phrases like haunted, the address used to have it forwarded, or comes with a roommate named Luke. There has to be a catch, right? In Vancouver, homes are selling for $977 per square feet on average. Meanwhile, these same condos in Port Coquitlam are selling for approximately $629 per square foot. And in Poco, condos are mostly concentrated in one area, which is close to the West Coast Express station. You also find some in Fremont Village, where there are also townhomes and some low-rise buildings. Detached homes show a bigger spread, and I think you're going to want to sit down for this. The benchmark price for a house in Vancouver sits around $2.3 million. In Poco, $1,350,000. No, you did not hear that wrong. I'll say it again. $1,350,000. $350,000. You can sell your Vancouver special, uproot the family, come out to Port Coquitlam and live in a similar sized home on a larger lot and buy some investment properties to retire on. These are life-changing numbers. As I've said repeatedly, lower purchase prices can mean smaller mortgages, less financial pressure, and a little more freedom to actually enjoy the city, whether it's dining out, traveling, or investing for the future. This is still real estate in Greater Vancouver, and I know it's still not cheap, but this is a place where people look at the numbers and will say, okay, I can do this. This makes more sense. Now, just because it seems like Port Coquitlam checks all the boxes, it still might not be for everyone. So who would want to live in Port Coquitlam, and who should probably stay away? Polco is a great place for people who want space and a slower pace. It's especially great for first-time buyers who still want a life, not just a mortgage and a personality built around it. Young families needing more space and a bit of community. Someone who wants a quieter and more grounded lifestyle. Someone who doesn't mind driving and kind of prefers it. But if your ideal week includes last-minute meals, live shows, and bars where you're basically yelling your life story across the table, then you're probably going to find Polco a little bit too peaceful. If you rely on Skytrain or just want to go walk everywhere, then Polco might feel too isolated. At the end of the day, Port Coquitlam works well for the person with the right mindset of what they prioritize in their lives. It's not trying to be the star of the Tricities. That's Port Moody. It's not trying to guilt you into shape. That's Coquitlam. If you're trying to be a place where you can live and have a life, and for a lot of people, that ends up being a better deal. By this point, you probably already know if this feels right. So let's tie it all together. So what's it really like to live in Port Coquitlam? A typical Saturday here might look like a coffee in hand while taking a leisurely stroll along the river, taking the kids to Lions Park and a Costco run. Maybe have some friends over for a barbecue in that large backyard. It's practical, it's quiet, and it's less polished. But in a way, that's just more real. It's not trying to impress anyone, which ironically is kind of impressive. But if you're someone who values space, community, and a bit of breathing room, this place is going to make a lot of sense. If you need constant energy, walkability, and last-minute everything, it probably won't. If you're thinking about moving to Tricities and trying to figure out where you actually fit, your first step is to email me at info@happyhomesvancouver.com or send a text message to 778-688-6838. And let's help you get settled into your happy home. If you found this video helpful and want to see more of it, I would appreciate if you subscribe to the channel or share with a friend so you can help us help more people. In the meantime, check out parts 1 and 2 of the rest of the Tricities series on this channel. We'll have a link for you in the show notes. Again, my name is Simon Liu, here to serve you here in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.